Welcome everybody to the post-Slamboree edition of WCW Nitro here in WCW 2003 as we start the road to Great American Bash with a new world champion and other fun things going on. So let's get rolling. We start off with our pre-show six-man match as it's Paul London and Air Raid defeating Lance Storm and Jindrak and Stasiak in 15-18 when Air Paris pinned Mark Jindrak with the diving leg drop. 78, which is probably going to be better than almost anything else on my show, but I figured I just put this match in the pre-show, get some time to get some people working, and hey, it got everybody else over. AJ Styles has already given me 78s, and yeah, fun stuff. Lance Storm still giving me 75s, which just tells me I should be doing something more with them, but you know how it goes. Anyway, on to the opening, which gets a 97, as basically RVD opens the show, does his RVD stuff, says it's cool that he's the new #1 contender. And then Kanyon comes out and basically says, nobody's better than Kanyon. I should be the #1 contender. WCW management is scared of me having world champion again. I don't care who's a champion. Matter of fact, RVD, I want to face you tonight. RVD's like, cool. I mean, the main event. I want to put a title shot? Fine. I'll beat you just like I beat your buddy Flair last night. And because I'm RVD. Kanyon, of course, gets upset at that, yelling, nobody's better than me, nobody's better than Kanyon. And there we go, 97. We actually start the show, well, okay, not the actual matches. So, Jeremy Borash has an interview with Jamie Noble, who explains that, he was carrying the Young Dragons, after Kaz left, but after he lost, he thought he'd help Yang, win, but after Yang, yelled at him for helping him in another match, Noble decided that it was time for him to go back to his roots as, the redneck rebel he is, and now he's going to show that he always should have been on his own, and he's going to just take apart whoever gets in his way. And that gets a 49. And then in a four-way women's #1 contendership match, Jordan Cole defeated Angel Fox, Gail Kim, and Amber O'Neal in 7-14 when Jordan Cole pinned Amber O'Neal. Because basically the idea is that Gail Kim and Angel Fox are brawling on the outside. Jordan Cole's able to get the pin on Amber O'Neal and become the new #1 contender. This gets a 55, even with Gail Kim being off her game. And then in the aftermath, Jordan celebrates while Angel and Gail continue to fight, also gets a 55. Next up, we've got the Horsemen backstage, and basically they go over the fact that tonight, Kanyon's going to win back the world title shot that Flair got screwed out of last night, and that Flair's teamed up with Jaron Douglas to take care of some of their leftover work as they take on Rey Jr., Alex Wright, and their partner Chuck Palumbo, and they'll prove that the Horsemen are still in charge here, no matter who has the titles for the moment. This gets an 80, so not too bad considering I actually had Jaron Douglas do some talking. And then after that, we've got Helms and friends coming out. So we got Shane Helms, Gigantes, and his, tag team of Reno and Cash. Helms, points out that once again, your superstar has arrived. The greatest U.S. champion of all time is here. And it doesn't matter who I face. Legends, newcomers, I will be the future of World Championship Wrestling. And that brings out Finlay of all people, who says, Punk, I don't care about you. What I care about is that man right here. And he points at Gigantes. You've been on Saturday night punishing people? Well, you want a real fight? How about I give you a fight now? And Helms sort of looks at Finlay, says, your funeral? And then we're on to the match. Gets a 68, so not too bad at all. And in the actual match, which was not good at all. That's unfortunate. Gigantes defeated Finlay in 452 by pinfall with the chokeslam. This gets a 34. Gigantes gets a 48. Finlay gets a 42. They didn't click, and yeah. Afterwards, we have a beatdown, but Conan and Dustin Rhodes come out to make the save for Finlay, and that scatters the heels, at least for the moment, and that gets a 65. And then we have a backstage interview where Borash interviews DDP. It gets a 73, and basically, says, Kidman, you helped me lose last night. That shows I'm not done with you at all. So one way or another, Kidman, you're going to feel the bang, and if your little girl gets in the way too, so will she. This gets a 73, and as we move on to the next match, So we have in a superb match, which gets a 73, Rey Jr., Alex Wright, and Chuck Palumbo defeat the Horsemen of Jarrett, Shane Douglas, and Ric Flair in 1454 when Palumbo pins Flair with Palumbo's Pride. And this doesn't it doesn't include this because I forgot that you can't do this with people who are just in angles, but the idea is Sean Hare comes out, distracts Flair for just a moment, allows Palumbo to hit his finisher and pick up the victory. And so afterwards, we've got O'Hare celebrating with the baby faces where the Horsemen fume, and this gets an 87. And then we have a quick promo where Jonathan and Toro are with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is basically rubbing Toro's shoulders, as Toro says, like, at Slamboree, I finally returned to WCW, and I proved that I'm on the warpath back to relevance, and this will just continue. A quick promo, 39, not too bad. Again, trying to get these guys over. And then we have another promo where it's basically AMW, America's Most Wanted, with their manager Lawler celebrating with the belts, saying it doesn't matter who we have to face. Fine, throw Rey Jr. and Alex Wright at us. We're the future of tag team wrestling, and Rey and Alex have been here so long, they've forgotten what it's meant to try to become better. And we're going to beat them, just like we took out Air Raid, and we're going to hold these tag titles for as long as we want. Gets a 67, so not bad at all. And then we have Billy Kidman facing Jason Jett in a match that gets a 74. Billy Kidman defeats Jason Jett in 940 by pinfall with the Kid Crusher. This is just a match to get Kidman over. And, like, sort of have... Because one thing I've noticed, like, with my booking is way too quickly I get basically feuding people face off all the time. So I wanted to, like, have, like, a match that's, like, not completely out of the feud. But, is not just, like, tag partners face off. Or, tag teams are arguing face off. Or feuding, two feuding feuds are stuck together and all that fun stuff. But anyway, this gets a 74. Jet gets a 54. Kidman gets a 75. So not bad at all. And then next up, we have Kidman with April doing a quick in-ring. That gets a 66. He basically says, Paige, just face it. You're done. You lost to the U.S. champion, clean right in the middle of the ring. And now you're trying to take me on. Well, I'm moving on to bigger and better things. But really, if you want to get your ass kicked again, I'll do it gladly. And that gets a 66, which is totally solid. Then we go to our main event, which unfortunately didn't quite do as well as I wanted. I wanted like a 90 or like at least high 80s. But, so, an exceptional match, RVD defeated Kanyon in 2012 by pinfall with the 5-star Frog Splash. RVD gets a 93, Kanyon gets a 93, so let me actually look at see what went wrong here. Okay. Kanyon was penalized for chemistry, overwhelmed by manager. Okay, that's interesting. Lack of storyline. I forgot to associate the main event storyline with this. Okay, that was my bad. Oh, okay, live and learn. Yeah, this easily could have been in the 90s. Not the end of the world. Live and learn, I guess. But that doesn't mean the show's over, as we go to the finishing angle. Which gets an 87. Okay, RVD looked good. Vampiro slightly underperformed. But anyway, it's basically like, RVD is celebrating. Kanyon has walked away. But then, like, the lights go out, the Deadpool appear on the screen in their Graveyard of Souls, and then, Macias gets to look scary, Let's Dead Morningstar in the background, and then Vampiro goes, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I made a promise to World Championship Wrestling. Last night, I fulfilled that promise. I became World Champion, as he sort of, like, holds up the belt. You thought it was impossible. You thought this was just another empty promise from some bad guy you didn't like. Well, let's look what happened. Your undefeatable champion has been defeated. My Macias has sent your proud former champion away. The painted hero has fallen finally for the last time. Now this, a refugee from the barbed wire city looking to make his claim to glory? Well, Deadpool are WCW now, whether you like it or not, and this confident fool will not be our downfall. And then the lights go out. Camera goes back to RVD, who's, like, more confused than anything else as he looks back at the screen. And that ends the show. And that gives us a 84. Okay. Not our best show ever, but, like, I sort of wasn't looking to do our best show ever. But yeah, could be actually a lot worse. I think I sort of bowled through that show. I could have done a little more, but stuff happens. But let's go to the end of things here. As we look at Hook Monberry. Processing. Okay, so let's look at Raw. Looks like they actually, well, let's look here. Nitro got awesome. So again, we got an 84. They got an 85. Okay, so we got Big Show defeating Chris Jericho and The Undertaker in a 3-way. A random 99 where Kurt Angle and Christian as Team Angle defeated Eddie Guerrero and Kane. Okay. Austin defeating Clark Crawley by DQ gets a 94. Shawn Michaels defeating Raven gets a 99. Yeah, lots of fun random stuff. Let's see here. Is there anything else going on? Oops. Let's look at our mail. Okay, so Terry Taylor thinks Gaz is turning into a good worker. The kid is worth getting behind. I agree. I wish I had more to do with him. Let's see here. Johnny Ace. Amber O'Neil is too small. Johnny, she's a woman. And Stacey Keebler has officially left to begin filming her TV show. Which, let's see here. Actually, let's see if we can... Yeah, so she'll be... Okay, so she'll be away for 4 months. Okay, so that's about what I thought. And don't notice the people that I sent on vacation. Alright, so, yeah. So if we look at our storylines, stuff is going well. The only downside is this sort of lost some heat because the match. But yeah, everything else is hot, or at least as hot as we could think. Like, we don't have, like, the super hot feuds we had, like, with Goldberg and Vampiro stuff, but, like, that can easily build back up. I mean, especially would have built back up if I would have remembered to actually, put the storylines on the RVD Kanyon match, but, stuff happens. But yeah, this is a slightly shorter show than usual, but anyway, that's all for now. So, again, you'll be seeing some new series coming up in the next couple days here on the channel, along with the continuation of this WCW 2003 save. But yeah, you'll see that, so enjoy those. Comment below on what you're enjoying and not enjoying. Go ahead and like the video if you're enjoying it, and subscribe for more fun TEW 2020 content. See you later, and adios.